as you can see, guys, we're here with the High Chief himself. So if you guys got questions, let us know. But we're going to be working out, so as long as YouTube didn't malfunction, the link should still be in there. So Josh is going to hop on. He'll be able to.
Who what?
Our partner in crime.
What's in front of us? So I'm looking at like a handlebar or something there.
Oh, right here?
I don't know. See my face? Or is that your phone?
Oh, my phone's cracked, so it's black. So it's like
nice.
So that's why I'm gonna pull it up.
People don't get to see that part, right?
No, they see this. This is what this is delayed, so I'm gonna fast forward. Actually, we're about 10 seconds behind. But this is where I'm gonna look for the comments.
Cool.
So right now, Drew, we got Drew. He says, "Cool face," and need to get a new phone.
How's Drew?
Drew is one of our guys. You know, he's one of our moderators.
Do we? You know Drew?
Yep. Yeah, he's a good guy. He, if people come in and act a fool, kicks them out.
Really?
Cards them out.
So, he sees the thing about this whole technology thing. You don't know who's real and who's,
We don't know who's real and who's a robot.
Right.
That's a real problem.
Right. I've always thought you were sort of AI. You know what I mean?
I might be.
Solid 10. Solid 15. Breathe. Not too bad.
Oh, that's good. We got a weight advantage, so
yeah,
I can stay there steady. Oh, here is our buddy Josh.
Huh? What happens? People talking?
So he's a little hard to see, but this is Josh. What's up, man?
Oh, you mean there's people on there too?
Yo, gentlemen, what's going on?
Hey.
We're doing good, man. We're doing a workout in.
Throwing some stuff around.
But I do have the tablet hooked up, so I can see the comments nice and clear. So let me know if you guys have any questions for the chief.
Copy that. Did you switch the comments to live?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
I didn't go up yet.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right. I got hooked up the all messages.
What's that mean?
So now I won't miss any messages. Good and bad.
Everything is so I can go up. So I'm taking off. That goes up there. My knees. I'm gonna replace that with a 33. And then put the 10 back. That'll be an increase of 22.
Very nice.
Yes, sir. So this thing's working, huh?
Yeah, you can talk to the people if you want. I'm gonna do this set.
Well,
You could talk to the people, Chief. You could talk to the people.
Nick can hold on a whole lot more weight because I keep myself a little trim. Yeah.
Here we go with that weight thing again.
I got the weight advantage.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid to use it.
No, he uses it all right.
New Nick says, I love the sound of weight banging around.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was at the gym today over at Planet Fitness. They got a big sign that says, no lunkers. You know, nobody's supposed to yell or drop a weight or you can't get too excited or else, you know what I mean?
You can't breathe too hard. You
It
get
says no. It says no, high chief.
Then you got these pants and what's supposed to look.
But then they put mirrors everywhere.
Yeah.
What'd you say before, man? I didn't hear you.
I said, yeah, he's talking about the lunk alarm. I said, yeah, that's to keep the high chief away.
Oh, yeah. The high chief alarm. Gotta watch out for that one. But Josh, do you have any questions for the high chief?
I got nothing right now, but bruh, we got 26 people in the chat. We got 26 people in the chat. Nick doesn't very often go all the way up to the high chiefs. So you guys got questions. Oh my God, I think he blew his back out. Now's the time to do it, yo. You're all here. The high chief's there screaming at everybody. Oh, snap. It's all right.
Oh, we're back. We're back. Speaking of blowing the back out, you broke your back before.
Yeah, I broke my back in a car wreck back in 1980. That's probably way before you guys were born.
I was almost born.
Yeah.
I was alive.
I'm 3 inches shorter from that back injury. That's freaking crazy, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. From tall, dark, and handsome, it's just dark and handsome.
Oh, snap. We got a $5 super chat from Carolyn. W's in the chat.
Oh, man. Thank you very much, Kayla. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, she says, hey, Nick, what's the special occasion to visit the high chief today? We had to get a workout in. That's a special occasion. What we go, 25 or?
Yeah, 22. Can he do it?
So, Carolyn has a question for the high chief.
You almost have to use your foot.
Yeah, right.
Uh-oh.
Carolyn has a question for you, Chief. She said,
really?
great work on Saturday, High Chief. What did you like about the Natty Bros event?
Well, I thought it was run well. You know, they kept it moving right along, and you know, I think the rules were fair. You know, we didn't have to be so particular as referees. We just make sure they're fair and set them off and let the chips fall. You know, with just a few exceptions. If it was really egregious foul, then we'd stop the match and restart it and stuff. But most of the stuff went pretty well. You know, they do a good job at organizing. They put it together. We'll see what the footage looks like, and you know, it'll be fun to watch. You know.
Sweet. Yes, sir.
I think, you know, maybe if there's a little more focus on me, it would have been better. But
I know, right?
yeah.
I mean, if you'd have just let me know, Chief, I had my camera there and I could have got that beautiful, beautiful ponytail in 4K.
God knows how much longer it'll be around, you know what I mean? You good with this? Or do you want more?
You want to do a back down?
Sure.
We'll drop down and then we'll clean it up a little bit.
Sure, let me try.
Awesome questions, Carolyn. Awesome questions, Carolyn. Thank you.
Put it without the.
All good. But once the chief finishes set, I got a question. I'm chief. Well, it will be after the set.
I feel like my 15 seconds gets faster as the weight goes up.
You probably just get better counting.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick,
Now,
is that a hand handle that
Yeah.
looks like that I could print?
yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
You almost got me. You almost got me, Chief. It's one of those thinkers.
Weightlifters, I gotta retrain them every week, you know what I mean?
Well, we got the, the 22s, 23s, and 44s. Usually they're 45s, you know.
Oh, right, these are all the kilos.
Yeah, they're nice though.
Looks like there might be some questions there for you, Nick.
So let's see. Both upset with the last second thing. If you can make it, actually, something Chief Coach. I'm sure he'd like that to hear.
We're here, Bobo.
But he's Straminsky right there. That's Bo. New guy Nick says, I didn't know there was a cage in the dungeon. Yep, they got some cages at the dungeon. And then he says, Team Stone handles.
Oh,
Out with it or Top Pro Nation, Super Nation handle. I did advisor with it. I did some side pressure with it so far. It's nice. It's very, you do a whole bunch of stuff with it. Now it's my turn. Yeah. All right, Chief. Take over the chat unless you need some water.
oh man, Ron, you're getting hate from Bo. Bo is hating on you. He dropped the F-bomb,
Is he?
said F you and everything. Holy moly.
And no betrayal, man. Very impromptu. He doesn't know what that means. Nick just called and said I'd be on my way, and I said I'm at the dungeon, so that's why we're here. That's why this is happening. It's part of life, you know.
It is. You know?
Otherwise, it's hard to sleep at night.
That's funny. That's good. That's good, clean fun right there.
That's the marks. Let's see, I took off a 33. I'm gonna drop this one. That's a little more. Okay. Now let's bring it down a little slower, okay?
Sounds good.
He's always trying to rush me here.
I'm speedy, but nimble. That's why they call me Nimble Nick.
You got all kinds of nicknames, don't you?
Yep. Let's see. The gym now, Chief. Make sure Nick doesn't pull any half-ass lifts. Definitely will. Definitely will.
Who's that?
You haven't met him yet, but
Oh,
he's
good.
a new guy on the team. We call him, his name is Nick as well, but we call him New Guy Nick.
Yep.
New Nick for short.
Yeah. Is he? Oh, let me try the right hand.
Oh, my bad.
Excuse me?
I guess I am rushing you.
I forgot, man. Catching my breath. This is gonna get easier, right?
In theory.
You can pull on my foot.
I'm not falling for that trick again. That's funny.
mean Carolyn. It's all right.
We're getting some training in, gotta prepare for any upcoming challenges, as well as might be doing the nationals in the spring. I think I'm gonna go to Ohio and do the nationals for the Tokyo trip.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. When is it again?
The nationals, I believe, are April.
Do you have to qualify?
No. Well, the funny thing is, no. You know, I mean, everyone should qualify, and there is like an insinuation. What you look
James
on-
Clark said Tokyo ?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what we're talking about.
Yes, sir. Team USA, Tokyo, Japan.
How's that song go? I think in Japanese.
I really think so. Did you do your set?
Yeah, I did mine already.
Can you rewind that? I don't think I seen that.
I can. I
No,
can
no,
rewind.
no.
I got it right here.
Now it's getting down there to a skinny guy.
Yeah, that's the skinny guy class. But yeah, Chief is thinking about going to Tokyo. Gonna win another gold. Actually, multiple.
Yeah, got two arms. If I can, rehab the right, I'll make sure I'm prepared for. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. I just think everyone's a lefty. I just think it's a lefty day.
The left is for children, man. Maybe do a Las Vegas trip. There's some tournaments in Vegas. Those are always fun.
Which tournament?
I don't know.
Carolyn wants to know. Carolyn wants to know who the High Chief wants to pull at the next Dungeon Super Series: Sam Mitchell or our buddy there, Ham Hoagie.
That's one of our friends. Ham Hoagie is his name.
Did you do this off?
Yeah, I figured I'd do one more set.
Okay.
But Chief, remember we were talking about possibly Brian Malek for your next match of the Dungeon Super Series?
Yeah, the big dude. I mean, big,
Yeah, definitely.
But he seems pretty strong. And he did really well. He beat Sam Mitchell. So I thought that because of that series being the first of your events, you take the winners of the middleweight, that little light middle class there,
Yep.
and put us against each other, I don't know.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah, Brian's come a long way. He's, if I'm not there, he wins. So that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
He's got big biceps, which makes it really fun to beat people like that.
Big biceps.
Yeah. If you lose, you go, look at the size of him. But if you win, you go, wow, I like the feeling. It's like the overalls. When you beat the heavyweight. Did you do the last one?
I didn't do mine yet. Nice. I feel.
I feel like the limelight of the live affects his focus. You know what I mean?
That's why he's always turning his back to the stream.
I was wondering why he set it up in this way.
It was just the quickest thing. I didn't want to.
Oh.
I guess I could set it up somewhere over there.
Right. It could have been.
Could have been.
Or we could have set it up and I could have sent the StreamYard link to the High Chief, and then you could have showed him how to log on and and then that would have showed him exactly how to do it when you're not there.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, right? Don't worry, Chief. I'll help you out. I'll help
Did he
you
say
out.
something about
That
teaching me
that
something?
Yep.
Oh God.
I said
Technology,
nothing.
Chief.
I was only talking to Nick.
Don't worry, we'll get him, guys. We'll get him.
Oh, Drew sent me something. He has a Discord.
All right. Be careful.
Hey Nick, what did you think about those new thumbnail type things that I've been making up?
I thought they were sweet. I thought they were really cool. Yeah, I like them. Is there any way to show the people, or should we make them wait till tomorrow for our pre-lift live tomorrow?
I would make them wait for a pre-lift live, and then it'll be the thumbnail. I've been making these thumbnails, you know, the "we'll be right back" and the all that good stuff, or ending soon or
What
starting
is that?
soon.
New
So
tool. So it's the thumbnail is the picture, like you know, when
Okay.
someone goes on a video, that's what it's called.
Yep. A thumbnail you mean to show
it's just a picture of what the people can click on for the video.
Huh.
It's what draws them in.
Oh snap! W is in the chat. Nick, that one's you, buddy.
Oh wow! Thank you very much, Carolyn. She says, "Nick, it's perfect. Lifting comes first. We know, LOL. And portrait is good because landscape shows the gains too much, Josh. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Carolyn.
And you're right, hurt too much to do a static hold.
Oh, maybe. We'll see.
Hey Nick, did he ask that for you?
What's that?
Did he ask you if you could do a static hold?
Yeah, I mean, I could do pull-ups, but it's just going to see if my elbow's tender or not.
Bro, is that a fat joke?
It is a fat joke, but I'm going to let
That's
that one
fucked up.
slide.
That's fucked up.
We're live, and I was trying to let it slide, but you had to bring it up. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
He told me I couldn't do any fat jokes on here. I think the long ones, a couple of subject matters that I was supposed to stay away from.
One and done, Chief.
Chief,
Yeah.
you're gonna be now just so you can take that back. You have to be a guest on the podcast now. You just have to. You gotta come on, and you have to please the people and take questions.
You're hired, Chief. You got a new job.
Please me, man.
What do you mean? The people might want to talk about maybe your match, your banger match against Black Ice.
Yeah, if they knew history, they'd probably rather talk about Crazy George or Cobra Rhodes and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, you know what? While that we got you, I talked about the Crazy George story, but how about you refresh my memory because I missed some stuff in that story. How long was the match again?
Well, our first match was much shorter than our last match. Our first match was 5 minutes and 26 seconds because Arm TV had it timed. You know, he was going crazy. So five and a half minutes, and that was at a national in Rising Sun, Indiana. You know, kind of an international national. You can come from other countries, but it was really a national title for Denise and Letter USAA. And then we met again at the Arnold's and pulled in a final for 11 minutes plus. It was freaking ridiculous.
Jeez.
Unbelievable. And, you know, he never pinned me. I never pinned him. I fouled out trying to pin him, which is usually the case there. George just patiently waits and people bounce and bounce and bounce because he can pin a lot of people, but not the top guys. You know, the top guys he just wears them out and jumps on at the end, or they fall out, which is fair, I guess. I've seen him go through a tournament. I think it was the Arnold's that I watched. It was every match was the other person fouled out. Every match, right to the finals. walked away with the Arnold Championship. Pretty cool.
That's interesting. Hey, if they can't keep the elbow down.
One year I showed up there with, 1 year Artem Tarayenko was in there, the phenom. He couldn't beat George.
Oh, what you remember what year it was?
Probably, I don't know, 2010. Well, no, later than that, because Artem was still a kid. Between 2010 2015. It was a real cool thing to see, especially the after polling and stuff, because they had a lot of videos of the two of them trying to figure things out, and everybody bounces off of George, and he's a little old 70-year-old fat guy. Can't beat him. Amazing. Attendance.
Absolutely.
One year, Cobra and I were there, and George was there, And of course, Cobra and I got tangled up in the first round for a long one. And I came out on top, but we were both pretty fried to be going up against, the top 175 guys. It was a pretty good day, though. I still got to be on the stage with whoever it was. Jason Statham was a movie star, some action figure. But, he gave out the awards and shook our hands. One year it was Sylvester Stallone. Another time it was Arnold. And then the fighter, Randy Couture. I got a picture of meeting him over there.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Get to meet a lot of meatheads, Fun.
That is fun.
Well, it's still happening, with Brian Shaw and those guys. Is that did they get disillusioned with the whole arm wrestling thing now?
What do you mean?
The strongmen like Brian Shaw and stuff. Is he?
You mean disinterested?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think they're still fully interested. I just think there's some confusion or something. But yeah, I think he's still 100%. He's an arm wrestler now. That's what I see. Maybe I'm wrong.
Wow.
But he's taking his training seriously. So.
Still, has he got a match coming up?
That is a good question, Josh. You know if Brian Shaw has an arm wrestling match?
I think they might try and talk him into trying to arm wrestle Leonidas, maybe. I think.
Oh, that could be interesting.
I think, but I don't know. But you're right. I believe Brian is sticking with it. He doesn't want to do tournaments anymore. He wants to just focus on being a pooler. But he's all in. So it's pretty cool to see. He's all in to be a pooler.
Yeah, that's great. That's great for the sport.
I thought there were some issues with losing money and not, I don't know. Even somebody was insinuating that there was some bad results, not necessarily from the perspective of the future, but basically between the top people, bad results where things weren't as they said they were. It's kind of common in the sport for people to be at different levels of expectations for results. Some people want to, go to, promote a tournament, get everything paid for, make a couple of grand, and call it a year or a day. Other people want to promote something bigger and better than that, maybe even sort of developing and building a product like the East West brand is doing, and that's pretty cool because they're putting the right effort into it. It's just a matter of can they keep all these egos together,
on the same page.
Well,
there
can be a lot of different ideas that blend for sure. But if somebody thinks that, there's even in the Ingen era, people seem to insinuate that there was an ego issue, at times to where people demanded control. But really, if you're being expected to perform a job, then, it's just your best ability, whatever that means, even if it means, delegating, because some people delegate as a matter of getting things done, and that's not the same as power tripping or something. That's like saying, okay, I got to get all this done. I need you, and you, blah, 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 So, depends on what level you're at,
Yeah,
it's cool to be able to delegate and have a team that, um, you trust and believe in,
reliable and
Sure.
everyone is on the same page. That's always nice.
Yeah. Yeah, not always, there's like waves of that. I remember back in the, early days of my a lot of teams of United States teams, Louisiana had a big team, the Midwest had several big teams, California had a big team with, Kenny Hughes and Tom Nelson and all those guys, but there's a lot of them. Alan was older. He wasn't really part of all that. He came in and out at times, Alan Fisher, but yeah, there's a lot of good names out there. Eric Wolfell, he was a fierce left-hander. Steve Phipps from up in Washington had probably more world championships and national championships than anyone by number, just because he's traveled so much. He would travel and he would do well. And probably, because I remember thinking, wow, I got over 50, national first place, how the heck did that ever happen? I wonder what the record is. And then I remember Steve, and Steve's been around much longer than me, and he's, been a first placer in his weight class. When he got masters, he was world gold medals in masters, and then gold medals in grandmasters. And so every time he goes, it's another notch. And I can't imagine he's got to be over 100,
Medals.
titles like that. No, not even medal titles. Big ones. I got hundreds of medals, but they're not all world championships for sure. If you like doing it, you go around a while, you end up with a whole lot of dust collectors and tchotchkes, knickknacks.
A whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll show you guys a little bit of the dungeon if the chief is all right with that. But before I do that, let us know in the chat if you guys want to see the dungeon. It's up to the chief though. But I got a question for the chief. Do you remember your first practice was on an actual arm wrestling table?
I don't know. I would have to say it was probably at the Connecticut Unified Team practice over in Bristol, Connecticut, at Josh Stark's house. Joshua Stark was the president or the leader of the Connecticut Unified Arm Wrestling Team. They had a nice team too, a bunch of guys, and had shirts with collars and buttons and names, and it was fun. And as soon as I started pulling good, they invited me to practice, so I of course went, and they pulled out a couple tables and practiced for a few hours, and I started attending on a regular. As soon as I started beating everybody, like going to tournaments and just beating people in the open class, pro class, then people started calling me up and saying, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, "I don't know, what do you mean?" They said, I want to come over and see what you're doing. How come you're winning?" All right. So I set up a workout area in my little basement up in it. We called it the dungeon. So this is the dungeon sort of, 2.0, but the original dungeon was quite low and small. It was a lot of fun. It was set up, man. Sometimes we'd have just as many guys, 20, 22 guys. The big guys are ducking and bumping their heads on everything, and it was a good time. Once in a while, Copperhead would go through or something.
The old Copperhead.
We're out of the country, man. Things happen like that. Yeah. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, It's all part of the thing, you know. It starts out being a
Uh-oh. Looks like we may have lost him.
it's a hobby, you know.
There we go.
People dropping off the face of the earth because it hurts too much, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what they say, most people they come to one practice and they usually don't come back. But we understand why. It's you know, they might be maybe they're the smart ones. Maybe they are.
They promise to come back.
They always do. Maybe that's just so you know, they can get away easier, you know what I mean?
They have fun. Yeah, they really do. They have so much fun. They think, man, this is great. I'm going to be good at this. I can't wait to come back next week. And then the next day, they care center.
Oh yeah. We gotta drive back to the knees.
It happens.
That is funny.
Yeah, I have stuff in here that has, you know, if I really think about it, like, you know, that thing there from Italy, it you know, we stole that from a
Oh, let me turn the camera around. I'll show you guys.
this was like a real nice thick welcome banner from one of the hotels, one of the hotels we were staying in over in Venice, Italy. And at the end of our stay, I went to the guy at the counter and said, "Listen, man, we want to take that home with us. Can we do that?" And he said, "Oh, no, 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 no. You can't take that. This spot, we're not one of the sponsors, and they trusted us with this and everything else, so he wouldn't let us have it." So that night, well, we were in Italy, so there was a lot of like grappa and vodka flowing and stuff after the tournament. Everybody was having a good time, and me and uh, unnamed heavyweight dude that I was traveling with took this thing all apart in the middle of the night. We stuck it into our hotel aluminum frame. We're thinking, well, we can't take this frame and everything, so we start taking it apart. And it's pretty well put together. We ended up getting it apart and getting this thing off and folded it up, putting it in my bag. Leaving the place the next morning, not even remembering that all that framework, all that aluminum framework and legs and everything were in the room that we were staying in. So it wouldn't have been a very hard detective job to figure out what happened to the side if they really care about it.
That is funny.
But it was a great trip, you know, great trip, great after parties at the World Championships. They're so important. You know, I went to Ottawa, my first Worlds in '03. That's where I first wrestled Crazy George, took a silver medal. They the after party was all different countries, all different languages. Everybody smelled different. You know, the girls danced. Some of the dances were like acrobats. You know, some were like strippers. You know, it was awesome. Awesome little blend. But tables, you know, everywhere. People pulling, people dancing, people eating, drinking. We went to Africa in '04 and were promised a bunch of tables afterwards, but the tables didn't happen. It was more like a discotheque with people dancing on the bars. Alexei Vovoda, and you know, he had just won the heavyweight championship of the world down there. Different culture, that's for sure. It was very cool. So that's kind of one of the things that you can look forward to if you want to explore that side of arm wrestling. It used to be the most prestigious side of arm wrestling before, you know, the Zloty tour and some of the invitationals that you'd hear about periodically with John or John types, you know. Ron invited to a lot of good things. Us little guys got some invites. I went out to Venice Beach for one of the big invitationals out there with Alan was there, and There's a whole bunch of us. I got a picture of it somewhere. I think that was a Robert Drank from the UAL. He began the UAL and then gave it over to Bill Collins, you know. But Robert was kind of one of those guys that was all in, like kind of like a Brian, you know, all in. He had made a whole bunch of money his way, got very excited about it, jumped in a bit, you know. You jump in a bit with a big bicep and you beat a couple of guys, and then you start getting your ass kicked by anybody who can really arm wrestle. So he lost his incentive to really train hard because he didn't have to, you know. Nobody has to. Champions are champions because they like it and they want to, you know. It's a sacrifice to be the best guy. A lot of sacrifice to be the best guy, you know.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, especially over a long period of time. You know, I don't know if you want to do that for an enduring period of time. You got to consider every little thing along the way. How much you want to sell your soul to the devil.
Yeah.
But
That's good stuff.
yeah,
But Josh, I'm sure the people are going crazy. Have we missed any questions?
No, I mean, I actually got pretty far behind because I wasn't going to interrupt the chief. So
Oh, that's it's good. That's good thinking.
I was listening. So I was actually listening, not looking at chat.
That's what happens when Chief talks. Everyone listens. That's why he's the high chief. But Chief is actually reading some comments. Anything that you see, Chief?
Chiefy, will we ever have a women's Grand Masters, or have you? You know, if they make a women's Grand Master, I think I'm going to start identifying different.
Uh-oh. You have
Certainly, I don't want to say anything, but I probably have to work out less.
to make it more realistic, huh? That's funny.
We got one
That's
from
good, clean fun.
Friends with Benedicts. He said, "Who's your favorite old school arm wrestler, Chief? I'm partial to Denny DeBrello. DeBrelli. I'm not sure how to say that.
Danny DeBril, that's
Yep.
the dragon. What did she say? That's one of her favorites?
Yeah, Friends with Benedicts asked who your favorite old school arm wrestler was, and that's who their favorite is.
Oh, really? Well, he's a good puller, but I whoop his ass every time we pull. Let me see. Who's one of my favorite pullers? Now, Danny's a very humble man. He's a good puller, but he's humble. He doesn't, he doesn't blame anybody but himself, when things happen. And he's got nothing but admiration for anybody who works as hard as some of us did or do, because that to me is important. Anyway, I don't know. When I think about hard work and stuff, I think about some guys that probably, wouldn't even get recognition. Mike West is kind of a hardcore, hard-working man that's been a raw hooker his whole life. Very successful. If he stops you, he wins. He's just one of those guys. His name is Mike West. He's not very, he's not now out there anymore. He's a little younger than me. I'm pretty old, so he's, he pulls. I saw he had some health issues, but he's been back on the table, and he's back raising hell. He's back pumping up that bicep, destroying people. It's pretty awesome.
We had a question from Carolyn Looms. Says, Chief, if someone is in the straps and the ref says go, then after the pin, the down ref says moving in the setup, no pin, would you throw in the red flag, or was the call too late anyway?
The down ref's call?
Yes.
Well, he has to call the other ref over. And, if he didn't get the ref's attention by saying that, he has to call the other ref over and say, listen, there was movement before the go, right? You're saying there was movement before the go.
Yeah, that's
if
what
there's
the question
movement
is.
Before the go, yeah, if the movement's before the goal and a ref calls that, even if it's a down ref, then it should be rerun. You should rerun the match. you know, and it probably would get rerun. The only time that wouldn't happen if you have some sort of a rogue head ref that's not working together. I like a team approach. I don't micromanage my down ref. I expect them to watch the other elbow. I expect them to give me the heads up. I don't check the wrist. They tell me when it's straight, and then it's a go. So if it's a team effort, they should have reran that match.
Copy that. Brian Jones Arm Wrestling says, have the Chief tell the story about Vovoda wanting his chain pendant.
I think that was in Africa when he was a big star now. And from Russia, you get to live a better life if you're an athlete competing for the government, And there was some pendant I bought from a USAA booth. It was just something that Denise was selling, and it was a gold arms in a ring, but it wasn't gold. It was just gold plate or whatever, gold looking. But Vovoda walks up to me and he's, get a picture with him and stuff. It's over there. I got a picture with him, and he's like real gold. He's holding on to my necklace, wanting to buy it if it was real gold. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna lie to this giant Russian.
I can bring the camera over if that's easier, Chief.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's a young Vovoda.
W's in the chat for Carolyn. She just thanked the Chief for answering his question. Oh, snap. There's Vovoda. There's the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's baby Travis Bajan.
Yeah. That's when I had all my hair.
Still got quite a bit. There's Crazy George.
Crazy George Zakowicz. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kaylin, for the super chat. That's awesome.
Friends with Benedicts has a question. Says, has the Chief had any run-ins with Mike Grimaldi? He's about your weight and around that part of the country.
I have. Yeah, I have. He's taller than me, a lot taller than me, if I remember correctly. A monster hand. Mike Grimaldi, if I'm not mistaken, he comes in too like a big old chop. Big old chop. Yeah. I have had run-ins with him. I don't believe I've ever been beaten by him though. And I'm not going to say that for sure because everybody got that chop in on me once. But I was ready for it most of the time. I think I met him in the WAL when they first came out in the WAL. Now I'm thinking I did meet him. And he shot the shit out of maybe Mike Celiaris. I think he slammed into Mike Celiaris at the WAL, and I'm like, ooh, because he didn't look all that intimidating, He was kind of tall, sort of thinner,
Yeah.
Mike, come on.
So Brian Jones Arm Wrestling says, I still want that Chief versus Molinaire ponytail match.
Yeah.
Did I pronounce that right?
Sure. I don't think that would be fair to RJ. He's a good puller, but he's small. And now he's got to be late 60s, right?
Yeah.
He looks good. But he competes a little bit. He doesn't, he's not pulling like he used to. And I am. No,
absolutely.
So that's a tough one. RJ said, Cobra. I mean, Cobra gets really good, really fast when he trains. it seems like, and then he got involved in the martial arts program, the MMA stuff, and he was out there a lot, very active a lot. His arm wrestling improved again. He's one of those guys that genetically can turn it around real quickly and become quite the force. Like he won the worlds in Jake Mesquite in 2010. After coming out of a long hiatus and really getting beat by a lot of guys that shouldn't have beat him, but he trained up and he went to the worlds and he cleaned up. In fact, then he went into the senior class and I believe he broke his rib or something on the table.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a real hard time finishing it out. He didn't win the senior class, but he won the first day. We split right and left. So I won the gold medal with the left hand, and he won the gold medal with the right hand. And then the next day or the next 2 days or something, he got into the senior class, and I remember him being pretty banged up. Pretty banged up, hunched over. At first I'm thinking, is this theatrical? Because he's up there going, ah! I thought he was buying time. Because sometimes, like in Italy, when Timmy was wrestling the final, Timmy Bresner, with the Hungarian Zas, they were very rough on each other. And they started pulling on each other, yanking each other across the table back and forth, and the teams flooded the stage. And the cops came up and they drew their guns, and they're all trying to calm down, like Timmy. Because I'm talking to Timmy, and he's saying, well, I'm sure I just need a few more minutes, everything else. And they're all coming up to me saying, can you calm your boy down, man? I'm like, why don't you talk to him, man? They're afraid to talk to him and stuff. So they're coming up to me to calm him down. And I said, well, try rubbing his belly. He likes that.
That usually gets him.
Yeah. But holy crap, man.
That is
I got a picture in my photo album of Timmy standing there with the cop that had his gun out.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that was going to shoot him. Yeah. Well, they thought he was all pissed off, and he was just trying to get a little more time because his arm was killing him. He ended up winning the gold medal. It was a controversial win, man. Unless you ask Timmy.
Oh man, that's good. That's good, clean fun right there.
Friends with Benedict says, what was RVJ's what was RJ's level back in the day? Was he underlooked?
No, he was a strong guy. I wouldn't call him multidimensional, but he was so strong in his way that nobody in the United States could beat him. And then when we went to the Worlds in 2003, he met Ingen Terzi. And that didn't go well. Ingen lived and died arm wrestling then, in 2003. So yeah, he destroyed RJ in the final. Destroyed him, just peeled him open. RJ beat everybody else. It was a pretty clean matchup right up until the end, and then it was USA and Turkey. But Ingen was 100% serious. That was the same year Travis won, against Vovoda. Travis became a world champion. Everything changed for Travis in 2003. A long time ago, right?
Some people, yeah. I think most people's a long time ago.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that'd be what, 2002? Did you say, or 3?
2003, Ottawa, Canada. Travis
22 years ago.
Yeah. And Christian Vinny was there, and a lot of good names. I forget who Ryan Espy might have won the left-handed championship, I believe. Some big boys.
We got another question from Friends with Benedicts. He said, "What was Dave Patton like on and off the table?"
He's just very serious, very loyal, very committed to his performance, his team. Nice enough gentleman, but like I said, very serious, very committed to his stuff. They paid my way down to a benefit. There was a thing going on for a young man named Mustafa, and he was killed in a construction accident. He was a good up and coming arm wrestler, close friend to Alper Kosar from down there in Carolinas. Anyway, he passed away. They were doing some fundraising, and Bill Menza, I don't even know him. I didn't know him, but he was one of Patton's proteges. They trained together all the time. And Bill was, a little younger than me, but a mature arm wrestler. So they threw out an offer for me to come down and do a super match with this gentleman for the fundraiser. And I went down there with Timmy Bresnan, who also pulled. It was a very good event. And Bill was prepared. I did win. It wasn't easy, It was early in my career, so I appreciated the invite and stuff. But Patton was his guy, his corner man, his everything. But when I was able to defeat his guy, I think I earned a little bit of respect from Dave, and Dave was, Dave was already into other things. Dave was already pretty much on his way into the martial arts and training and competing in his own new sport. So, but it was real good to meet him. Kind of good to, see his intensity even through his little grasshoppers, his students. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
All right. Well, we got a $20 super chat from Mrs. Sayla Jones. It says, "We love the High Chief."
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. Thank you very much. That's very true. Very true.
Sayla's got more money than brains. No.
Then Brian Jones Arm Wrestling said Chief beat Giannis back in the day, too.
Yeah, I have some wins. I've got a win over Giannis, but then he came back and beat me twice in the final. I took second place that day. Took $3,000 instead of 10 or 20. I think the first place was $20,000. Giannis is a good puller, man. Very good puller.
Did you did you also beat a Plyman Dimitrov from Bulgaria?
I don't know. I beat a lot of guys, Russians and Bulgarians, and I don't keep track because I don't ever
too many
think
of
about.
them.
Well, no, there's that too, but I always think that it doesn't matter who's on the other side of the table, because that's to me, it's me against me. I'm not really. I'm not going to prepare for any particular person because no matter what they do, they have to answer to me first. I don't plan on catching their this, that. I plan on dictating the match. So for me, it's not about learning about my opponent as much as it is being prepared to just dominate the match. It's not even being prepared for everything or anything because I don't want to deal with anything somebody's throwing at me. I'm just going to throw it at them and make sure that they're the ones dealing with what I'm doing. Yeah. Especially when it comes to powerful people, just getting people away from their power is usually enough to give you time to finish a match.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do we got
So
here?
you want to hear who won the other day? Is that one of the things I'm not supposed to talk about?
That's
We
the only
can't
thing
talk.
we're not
We
supposed to
cannot talk about
We
December.
talk
We cannot talk about the matches, please. Yeah.
Yeah, Chief he's a good jokester.
What about the good one? The good one. You know the good one?
Yeah, the real good one. We can talk about the good one, but I can't ask you this.
Nobody can believe that match.
Nobody. Without telling the outcome,
Mm-hmm.
what is your opinion of match of the night without telling the outcome? Because that's what we were talking about. So far, there is a little bit of a lead in people's votes. I know there's a lot of matches. So it's tough. But right now, Sam Mitchell and Mescal are in the lead with votes.
Okay.
And that match is actually up on the pay-per-view right now. That's the first match up.
Oh, no kidding.
So it's going to be good.
Yeah. That was a grueler. That was good. Was that their first match? Oh, they only had that one hand, right?
Yeah, just one hand. Yep. I can't remember. I think it was right. But man, yeah, I mean that was an absolute battle. Just man. And that's what we like to see. All the arm wrestling fans.
All right, Chief. It
Did
looks
that
like
go,
we
did that go back and forth? Or can't say. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was back and forth all the way to the end.
looks like we got another one here. Somebody asking for another Chief story. So we're asked from Brian Jones. He says, "Have Chief tell the story about Tim and Crazy George having a long match and breaking the strap."
Oh man. Breaking the strap is like a godsend. It's like, oh, thank God, take a break. Restart. The restart with George, nobody was trying. I was trying to throw everything on him and pin him, right? Well, because he gets jammed up like, it always stopped, and he never hit like to do that to me, other than to maybe get higher. That's about all I ever did. But we would just go at it and everything. When I saw a match between him and Anthony Delantonio, British Columbia, Anthony Delantonio finally climbed high enough on George to crush him down to the pad. And it was upsetting for George. Actually, George pushed Keith Michelle and blah, blah, blah. It was all, it was a big spectacle. But I met George in Rising Sun a week or two later for that national. And I knew what Anthony did. And I knew that I had to let George get. I knew that my slingshot, my whip, was very powerful. And if I was going to get him to the pad, I could get him close, and he'd get all stressed out and just kind of stop me. So I'm assuming if I let him get as much as I can and really lay into it, that I could get him to the pad. And in Rising Sun, Indiana, I believe I did that. But who's repping? Keith Michelle. And he doesn't want to call anything unless it's decisive, right? So I didn't bury George, but I think I broke the flame, and I didn't get the win. So it sounds like I'm criticizing Keith, but really I'm trying to say that maybe I did beat him once. Crazy George is one of those guys I never got to get a win on, not even with fouls. Wrestled him probably longer time-wise than anybody.
Yeah, 2 hours.
2 hours worth of arm wrestling. Never beat him. But there was Craig Toulier. I met him when he was 176 pounds, and he beat me in a national and never got a chance to take him on again. He got bigger and faster, stronger.
I wonder if he's still pulling more. I wonder if he is.
As far as I know.
We got to try to set that match up.
Toulier? Dude, Craig's huge.
He's too big. Yeah, now.
He's
huge.
Big and
strong and very effective, right? I mean, he just wiped out a whole bunch of guys, I'd like to see him in, maybe Jason Merlo or something. But I think maybe Jason's too much at this point for a lot of guys.
Could be.
So Carolyn said, Chief, who would be your 3 top picks to pull Nick next? And then they re-upped and said both arms for Nick.
You know, I don't know. I like some ideas of diversity and stepping stones, and even deception. When I think about, Chance, he hasn't been very active, so that, to me that was a very interesting display because some things it's like riding a bike. You got a lot of if you got a lot of technique and skill, you don't forget about that. You do what you got to do to stay strong or get strong again. But I think with the splash in the pans around the country right now, I'd like to see him pull the likes of uh, the other kids, maybe.
I would also like to pull those fat kids. They look pretty strong. I know what
I
you're
know.
talking
I
about.
would like to see him both of them. I'd like to see him pull the likes of the Spur and maybe even Dilly.
That'd be cool. That'd be
You
cool.
know,
Those are
just
definitely great picks.
I think those are great picks for stepping stones at this point, one way or the other. They're either going to be a lesson, a humbling lesson, or a well-earned stepping stone. But either way, that's kind of the makings and the journey of a
Well,
champion. Champions in Nick's future. That's part of his journey.
right.
If it happens quickly, well, he's blessed.
I would like to see him pull Brandon Allen.
He
I
reminds
guess
me
they.
of the likes of some of the talent Kenny Hughes used to demonstrate. Just kind of God gifted.
Yep.
It's awesome.
That is awesome.
Friends with Benedict said Philip Larson versus Nick Stone.
Philip, the big Swedish guy.
Oh yeah.
That could be
Yes.
cool. That was actually. I talked to a promotion. That match almost happened, but it fell through last second. So it's only a matter of time.
I kind of have a third.
You got another name?
No.
You got a third.
Said I got a
I
third.
really
What's the
don't.
name? No, I don't have that.
Well, I can't really
All
think
right.
of one. I don't think. I don't think that. I
Can you
think that I have
can
other
you
names in
describe
my
his
head, but I don't
face
think
at
that you
all?
can match that. Can I describe a what?
Can
Oh,
you
I think I
describe
might
the
have
third's
misheard.
face at least?
I think I misheard him. I think he said he didn't have a third. Is that
Oh,
what you
he
said, or
didn't.
did you say he didn't?
No, I didn't have a third.
Oh,
name.
okay.
I have other names, but I don't think they're good matches. I think they're kind of. I'd be really hard pressed to know what they'd be good matches or nothing. I
Friends
mean,
with
how
Benedict
about
said Chief versus
that was
Philip
wrestling with
Heritis.
Marshall. Who's that guy? Dylan.
Oh, Dylan. Yeah, he's good. We talked a little bit about that's something in the future that'll probably definitely happen.
No, he had victories over some good guys, and
Um, yeah, that could be interesting.
was he happy with his performance? Tim, I mean, he beat somebody like Ron Bath or something. Didn't he? No,
He might have. Does
maybe
anyone in the chat know, or do you know, Josh?
What?
not. Dylan, isn't that his name?
Marcio's opponent, Dylan.
Oh yeah, I believe his name was Dylan. It was like Dylan Mitchell. No, was it Mitchell? No,
Dylan Williamson.
Oh,
Dylan Williamson. That was it. That's it.
Yep. His last biggest win. Do you know his last biggest win?
do you know any big names that he's defeated? Because how does he get a crack at Marcio? He must have beaten some good guys, right?
I
Who
know
was
there's
it?
some.
Was did he get a crack at Brez? Was that what it is? Was it
Yeah,
Brez
but
that
he
he had a
lost.
crack at?
Bresnan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
lost to
lost
Preston.
3-0.
That's what I mean. But I think that was maybe why. I believe he had a crack at Brez. Maybe he was good enough to try Brez out. I'm not sure.
I think before
But
that he must have showed something, right?
Yeah, I mean
Some promise.
yeah,
Other than,
definitely. I think his left has been pretty good recently. I think his left is a better arm. You know,
huh?
but it's good.
James Clark said he beat Paul Passmore left.
Oh, okay. All right. Very nice. That's a good win. Paul is extremely strong right now. He did very well at the Dungeon Super Series, and he did very well at the Turtle Man Classic, the second annual Turtle Man Classic.
There's a guy down, I mentioned him earlier, Ellerton. Did I mention Josh Ellerton? I saw him defeat Passmore recently.
Oh, really?
Pretty easily. He's a 220. He's a freaking powerhouse. I don't know where he's from. Mississippi, maybe?
Did he come up here once?
I don't believe so.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
Drew said Derek Smith.
Derek Smith would be real cool. That would be cool. What do you think about that match, Chief?
I like it.
That could definitely be cool.
Yeah. They're both very sensitive people,
I'm not sensitive. I said don't talk about that. I'm live.
I told you that in confidence, Chief.
See?
That's good, clean fun right there. But seriously, don't bring it up.
Going on, Laurel. That's funny.
Yep.
What's up, Laurel?
But since I got everybody here and they can hear me, and we got 13 people, we only got 9 likes. If y'all can do us a favor, go down there, smash that thumbs up. Doesn't cost you a thing. Greatly helps out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Stone TV. And right next, you click that join button. $10 a month, you can join. You get the loyalty badges. You get all the pay-per-view events. Not only do you get that, you get 5% discount on all Team Stone and Stone TV merch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen to Josh.
And don't forget to wash your hands.
Very true. Always true.
Right.
Do not forget to wash your hands.
I actually wrote a song about that in college.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How's it go? We got the guitar. The guitar, Chief?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
But it was a song about hygiene because it was a project to bring education to
stinky people
kids
or
something towards AIDS project Hartford or something. It was a big AIDS project back then. AIDS was, all the buzz.
Yeah.
So part of my undergrad was doing this project to bring some awareness to youngsters as well. Where to begin being hygienically responsible, I guess.
That's good. We should bring that song back.
Yeah.
Give it a little.
We need auto tune.
We need a new intro song.
Yeah.
Could be that.
Hey. I'll take care of the music. I'll take care of the thumbnails. You two just bring your pretty faces, all right?
What are you talking about?
We will.
There's music and thumbnails.
Yeah, there's more technology talk, Chief. Yeah. It's good stuff. We're stepping up. We're getting serious, Chief.
I don't want to see my face all surrounded by flowers in a friggin' partridge family.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna make Chief's face into a bouncing emoji. It's just gonna constantly be bouncing around the stream.
Be careful what you wish for, right? Because he can make it happen.
Yep, they can. That's tomorrow's episode on Stone TV.
That's right, internet. Make it happen.
Chief head. How many bouncing chief heads can you fit onto the screen?
At least 4.
Yep.
We could have a bunch of emojis made of the chief in different expressions, and then when people become members, instead of those signs, they get special chief emojis.
That would be great. Any ideas on your special emoji? Little stick figure? These are emojis right here. That's what, so like we can make you your own one. You want like a tomahawk?
I was thinking a tomahawk with maybe a
feather?
Well, don't play around because Nick, if you get a picture of the chief just standing there, I
Yep.
can remove the background and then cut it off and then just take his head and then make that into things. Like, don't tempt me.
Well, the live is up. We can always screenshot it, and make it happen.
No, I was thinking that was a baseball card from UAL, remember? Those guys.
Let me flip the camera. I'll show the people.
Yeah, flip the camera.
It's the old baseball card.
Oh snap!
This was the back of it. I don't have a good picture of the back of it. This was a printout of the back of it. It was, that was kind of a cool shot. You can see my fillings, all that dental work.
You paid for it.
This is Silvers. Me and Chad in the final. Down at Triple A's, one of these nationals. It was pretty awesome.
That is cool.
Chad was a legend. I was a newbie. 2011, it says. But that was the backside of a card. I like the idea of having these guys have a card. Up at the did you see the coins that the Natty was? What's that about? They have some sort of significance.
Yeah, they were like challenge coins. That was a trophy. They're nice. They're
Oh, it's a
nice.
trophy.
Yeah.
Challenge.
So it's not so you don't use them to challenge somebody else.
You
No, I
can't.
think that's what they call them.
Do you guys want to know the story of where the challenge coins came from?
I think definitely. That'd be cool.
They came from the service. The service members did it. So what we would do is we would have those coins, like we have different branches have them of their squadrons. You can get ones from generals, but in uniform, every service member should always have one of those coins in their pocket or in their wallet. So in case you ever go to a bar or somewhere and you slam that fucking thing on the table, that's the challenge. So you have 60 seconds to put your coin up on that table within hand's reach of you. Otherwise, you have to buy everybody who had a coin a beer.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a challenge coin. And then if you challenge and then everybody slams theirs down, you owe everybody a beer.
Oh yeah. That's cool. That's fun. That is cool though.
Yeah, I have like 43 challenge coins. You know what I mean?
Strength in numbers. Strength in numbers.
Well, like a drinking problem.
That's good stuff.
Here's a couple just right here. There's a couple when I was a tech sergeant, just a challenge coin.
Very nice. Very nice.
When I was a part of the elite honor guard for doing funerals. And then basically like one I got from when I was in my motorcycle club. But I got a lot more. They're all upstairs though, packed away.
Oh, very nice.
No more club riding?
Nah, I haven't ridden for the club in a while. I retired and then sold my bike because my back is all fucked up. I had 2 failed spine surgeries, so even though I had a police Harley that had all the air suspension and the air seat, it was just still too much for my back.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember going to air shocks and rubber mounts, but I can still use them. I don't ride any. I have a rigid and a soft tail and stuff, but that's just to look at.
I was going to say, what are you going to do with that rigid? Ride 30 miles and then get off and piss blood.
No, it's a panhead, so it doesn't go that fast or anything. So, but I'll stay on the shock bikes, the air shocks. I got my Road King, and it's good, comfy.
Yeah, I had a 2006 Electric Glide, the FLH TPI. I had a police bike.
Nice.
And then before that, I had what was it? It was a Sportster 1200 Custom. I had it lowered, bigger tire, and then I had the suicide shifter on it. So I had the foot clutch with the foot shifter.
Wow. Cool.
So that was fun.
Nobody does that anymore.
No, they don't. It was really hard because when I brought it to the mechanic to get it put on, he went, "Are you serious?" He was like, "I won't even be able to test drive this when I put it on."
Huh.
I was like, "Well, then do your adjustments when I come to pick it up."
Jeez. Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you have anything that's like that? Suicide shifter?
Yeah, I got a survey car, but that's easy. It's a 3-wheeler. You know, it's got 3-speed with reverse on it. It's an old police trike, you know. But
Nice.
I used to have a 46 knucklehead, and that had a suicide shift and a clutch pedal. But it also had a long Springer front end. You know, it was set up as a chopper back in the day. Pretty dangerous bike when I look back at it.
Ah.
I know. No, but the bikes are so much easier to ride. And I can, put a big, thick chick on the back. That chopper was narrow.
Chief,
Yeah.
these bikes today are cars. They're cars. They're
Yeah,
$35,000 cars.
Well, like your bike was very nice. Something that old. I wouldn't come any newer than maybe. I have an '08. I love my '08. I don't want anything newer. They're getting so smooth. It's almost not like riding a Harley at all. So I just keep them real clean, keep the miles low, keep them clean. I love it.
Well, it was nice because since mine was the police edition, it had everything for like the stereo and all that, but there was no speakers, no nothing. So all I did was stuck in a 2 speakers in this module that accepted Bluetooth, and I'd go down the road and I had my own little music there that was Bluetoothing from my phone. It was awesome.
That's sweet.
You know who hasn't been around a long time? Remember Tony Katowski?
Yep. I never met him, but I've seen videos,
Yeah, he made quite a comeback. I met him early, and then WAL came out, and he started training. Getting all muscular.
Yep.
It's like a miracle.
Getting all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
It was astonishing. He'd be like 195 ripped, and he'd show up in Chicago at 165. 30-pound drop. Almost dead. Yeah.
That's a big drop.
I don't know how much of a sacrifice, makes it worth it,
I think it depends on the person. You won't know until after it's done.
I used to use arm wrestling as an excuse to be healthy. Oh, I can't do that because I won't win, or I won't be any. If I show up all beat up for some reason. When I got good enough to win everything sort of locally, I didn't care about that anymore. And I would train every day of the week, even if there was a tournament on Saturday,
Yep.
Because it didn't matter. I'd go to the tournaments, and sometimes I'd do 2 tournaments in one weekend, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
But it worked.
Oh,
What's all that about?
These are all comments. So let's see. Let's look at some of these. I see the tomahawk has already started. I see all those little axes.
Oh, nice.
Those are the tomahawks and the feather. They like the
There's
tomahawk and the feather.
Tomahawk, maybe a little. There's the arm.
Yep, there it is. There's the arm.
Now, can you put the tomahawk in the hand? Come on, people.
We can
This
figure
is
that
amateur hour. You know what I mean?
These emojis don't quite work that way, Chief.
Awesome secret chiefy training here. Yes, but we're not doing the altar thing, right? Tonight?
No, Not that's for the other channel. The members only. Let's see.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
OnlyFans, yeah.
$2.99.
Nice. Fill that one through the forearm, man. Nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I also want to have you push straight sideways. Keep like without any wrist bend at all. Sort of like it's kind of static hold, but if you get to a certain position, you can really feel it in the brachialis. And I think it's hard to activate that in an isolated way.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel that being sort of singled out, I like to exploit it a little bit because then when you join it with all your other strong stuff, it makes for a crazier thing for them to try to stop, you know. Try to have your left. None of this, though, because it's too easy. It's real easy to do it that way because it's lightweight. If you want, I can throw the 50 on that. There's more with the palm press that what happens when you go out here with it a little bit? Nothing.
Vertical
A little
or
bit
open?
A little open. You feel it all in there? Not necessarily.
I feel it in the elbow right here.
No kidding. Not in a good way, huh?
I'm not in a good way. I just think that's, you know, I mean,
Yep.
I do feel it in the brachialis, but more elbow. You know, just the ligament kind of thing, and maybe the pronate. I mean, just like not because we're pronating, just because it's stabilizing the joint. But I think it's the elbow ligament. You know what I mean? Just being stimulated. You know what I mean?
Sure. It's hard to say sometimes until you do it twice too, you know?
Yeah, it could be.
You ever notice that you fire something up and it'll just be completely different second set?
Yeah.
Like my push-ups. My push-ups hurt like a foundation until I get to the second set. And then they're good.
Get some blood moving.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything you see, Chief? Any questions you want to read?
Freaking cold up here.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely cold. It's actually not. Brian was in the mail truck today, so he's out there in the cold.
He's the man.
He's the man. That's why they call him Brian the Man.
Jeez. Different breed, you know. It's arm wrestlers are a different breed, right? Don't you think postal people that just trudge through the winter? You know, I know the guy in New Britain. He just shorts all winter long. You know.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a bear.
Polar bear.
We got Lucky in the chat.
What's up, Lucky? Long time no see. Oh, we got a question for the Chief. Sailor says, who's Chief's favorite female arm wrestler?
I have two favorite arm wrestlers when it comes to females, and you know, first and most, you know, long-term female arm wrestling relationship would be Sue Fisher. She's been in my life for many, many, many years. We've traveled together. We've shared a room. You know, I think, you know, she might have caught me naked once. I don't know. But
That's what happens.
yeah, it was completely,
I'm asking her.
you know,
I'm asking her.
completely accidental. And then
I'm gonna send her a message right now. I'm asking her. I'm gonna be like, the High Chief said he saw you. You saw him naked years ago
By accident.
on purpose.
do you really have to do that to her?
Yes,
To me?
yes, because I will do it right now.
Poor
I mean, I
Susie.
can call her directly and try and see if I can get her on.
She's a very busy woman. She got she got a lot of cats. She has a lot of cats. She's a
I know
busy
her
person.
well. I know her well.
Yes, yes, yes. We went to Poland. We went to Poland in 2019, and Stephanie, her daughter, came with us, and we were trying to fix Stephanie up with Alex Krzdeka, but he was
Credetia?
yeah. But I was questioning, why he didn't go for it. It's a beautiful girl, But anyway.
But anyway.
My other current favorite, of course, is Marlene. Marlene in another life, man, she would be my wife, I just love her. I think she's got a character and a dedication, sort of a passion that's reminiscent of my own.
Nice.
And whenever I see her, we kind of light up each other. The whole place gets a little brighter because we've been through stuff. When she was a young kid when I met her, training with Mike Ciliaris out of her high school. And she took the sport on. She took the sport on in a serious way. And, it hasn't been that easy for women. And Marlene's really making a name for herself out there. And she's doing it with grace and class and style.
Absolutely.
And she's not afraid to take some lumps. I mean, she's getting beat up along the way, not just in a physical sense, being a wrestler, but as a person who wears her heart on her sleeve, a person who kind of trusts and believes in the communication systems that are out there these days.
Yep.
I'm kind of like a caveman. Well, Marlene, when she feels good, you'll hear about it sometimes, and I admire that in some ways. Not for me. But yeah.
James Clark says Marlene is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sit. I mean,
Woman,
that's important.
Yeah.
Smell good. Smell good.
Yeah. I hate anything, swampy. Sorry. That's
Don't
right.
worry.
That's right.
YouTube is very forgiving. YouTube is very forgiving. I'll let you know when you're getting close.
Yeah, he'll ban us.
If you're doing good things, we should be able to ban them.
We can. We could ban any one of these people. Just pick a name, Chief.
Ban YouTube. Tell them.
Well, we can. Eventually, Chief. We'll be at that level.
You get so big.
And we'll ban YouTube itself.
I don't know.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I kind of think that when you're in the sport and you get close enough to certain people, you you kind of like see the psychology of the sport over time. Knowing Devin when he was a little, big punk, back in the days, and Travis and all these guys who had big eyes and big, expectations, and it was quite the journey. A lot of the guys that came and left that could have been really something, but it wasn't possible for everybody to be a John Brasink, there just wasn't that in the sport.
Yeah.
John was a phenom to be able to go out there sort of as a little, this little white boy and beat up everybody in the world. Didn't matter how big they were. This little guy from whatever, Utah, would come out,
just smash everyone.
Nobody could figure it out. And I just say, yeah.
Why he's the GOAT.
Yeah. Yeah. He figures it out though. John figures it out. If he's aggressive, he wins. If he's training, he figures it out, which is pretty interesting. He's got that. It's sort of an inner sense about. I believe it's mostly instinctive. After at first and after the first round, he can do whatever he wants if it's something he knows he has.
Yeah.
had. I guess people talk like it's over, right? It's over. He was the greatest. I mean, is it over or what? Is he still going to pull?
I see what you're saying.
Is he training?
I did see some video of him training again.
Oh,
You
He's
know,
training.
So sounds like he's back.
Nice.
Training.
He's back.
I know they started talking about that with the turkey thing when England was doing that thing about legend matches. They brought out Heldar,
Cobra.
Hayden Gildar, and Haydar Gilwood,
yep.
and from Turkey. He was a multi-world champion.
Yep.
And Cobra, and they put them together, but Haydar was just still too freaking strong.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that. I had Haydar in Italy. You know, he won the right-handed class. I took second, and I feel like I got robbed by Pinkney from Rick Pinkney. He's a good friend of mine. If the guy, I don't know why the hell he called me on a bogus call in a final at the Worlds. You know, maybe it was my emotions, but they came up to me before the left-handed challenge matches, Haydar and England, and asked me not to pull him lefty. If I met him lefty, he's just going to lay down. And I'm like, I'm not going to trust that, you know? I don't really trust that. When somebody says, oh, I've seen it happen with somebody else where, somebody promised to lay down and they got spanked.
Flashed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't trust him either.
So I'm saying, oh, you don't want me to pull
I don't care. We're fighting. We're fighting.
You're there to fight.
We're
If you're
fighting.
Lay down, you're
After
going
that,
down
we're
really
fighting.
fast.
Fuck it. I'm out of this tournament. We're fighting.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I've seen some pretty angry people sometimes, over the littlest things.
That's dirty.
I love that. If you could prepare yourself for opposition to be dirty, then you can prepare yourself for anything, for any competition. I know that it's great when you have
just
a fair
say no.
competition.
That's it. Just no.
We used to go to New York where it was never fair if you weren't from the boroughs. If you weren't from part of New York City, if you were from Mass or Connecticut or Maryland and Jersey had a big team, you were getting a terrible setup. You were getting the wrong side of the strap. You were getting, they set me up one time with this guy named Richard Calero. He's still pulling. He's strong. He's a 198 guy. But because I showed up to the 176 class, they allow him in the 176 class. There's no way he's even 20 pounds 170. But they allowed him in there because they want somebody to beat this guy. And the guy who's Gene Camp he's going 50-time world champion Ron Clembo up again. He's making it into this big thing because New York has a lot of people, so it's exciting. And we ended up in the strap, in the rest grip, and the ref says, "Ready, go!" And he pushes both of our. I'm like, "Ready, go!" He pushed both of us towards Calero's winning pad. So I had to stop over here. And I look at the ref and I bring the guy back and I'm like, man, I can only give you so much. I already know I'm going to be in, you might as well walk up to the table thinking that you have a foul and a warning to begin with, because you're going to get called. So you got to be very, very, very careful. You got to be very, very, very dominant or else you're going to walk away disappointed. Like so many of my friends did. I told you.
What was going to happen?
You got to expect that. What the heck's wrong with you? I got you all prepared saying you're going to get robbed. Don't do anything. But many, many guys. Ken McKinney used to be a really good 76er from around here. We had a good group around here. A good cluster, maybe 30, 40 guys in each weight class. And on the bigger tournaments, they'd all show up, It doesn't happen very much. I mean, I'm glad you're still doing New England's, and I don't even know what the other dates look like, like Mass States or something.
Yep.
Be nice if they spread them out enough and they were so plentiful that people wanted to go to them in more of a mass, or at least planfully pick your opponent that you need to kind of conquer to get to your next level yourself. Go and enter. Go and enter and take them on. Whatever it takes.
Absolutely.
I think today now you're expecting somebody to notice and throw you a bone. There was a tournament somewhere. It was online. It was 15 matches and didn't know a single one. There was just a whole bunch of regular people that called each other out, in a sense. Maybe I'm not following it enough or something. Maybe they are a little more accomplished than that. But it didn't look like it. And if you're not, if you haven't won a few of these things and traveled around a little bit, it's okay to accept a match here and there, but I don't know about all this, pay-per-view or money or anything. It's just pay your dues, get there, and let's see what happens. Most of the people that are in the bigger limelight deserve it.
Yeah, social media changes things. Those dang YouTubers are everywhere.
Mm-hmm. You got the right twist. You can water it down a little bit. It was your own style, and if people like it, if you got a catchy little phrase, I don't know, hawk to, you're in it for the long haul, man.
Get all the views. That is funny. But Friends with Benedict's got a question. He says, Chief, what is your favorite arm wrestling exercise over the years? So do you have a favorite arm wrestling exercise?
Yeah, it's is it okay to say on here?
Maybe.
Whenever I
Fire
have
away.
whenever I have a new guy question me about that, I always just tell him it's excessive masturbation, man. You can't really explain how or what it takes to get strong in 2 seconds. Like, what do you do? If I was to say a favorite exercise, I would probably go with my pull-ups for sure. I think pull-ups are you can weight yourself. If you get really strong, you weight yourself down, you do pull-ups. You do them in different ways. You do them one-handed. You go from side to side. You can add abs. It's just a good core exercise that translates to the table for me in a very real way. Because I don't pull so much this way as much as I pull this way. I do my pull-ups sort of like a row with my body weight. Jason Vale story. Jason, yeah, maybe. He went to prison he was making a fortune. And if I was him, I would have just paid the taxes. Instead he relied on the fact that he was trying to help cancer patients or something, when really he was making, tens of thousands of dollars a month. That he deserved. He was selling these, Laetrile-filled apricot seeds. And, they sent him to prison for tax evasion, really. And he dealt with state. But I met him over at the Central station there in New York. They had a big tournament on the main stage at the bus terminal. And I didn't know he was going to be there, but they had big plans on me being there. And so it ended up being the Jason Vale versus Ron Klemba show, It was every match was online before I even got home that day. And he's also the strap master.
Oh,
supposedly.
the strap master.
Yeah. But I didn't lose. And that was a very, very good boost for my mind. I thought, oh wow, good. I've heard a lot about Jason. I never really wanted to get my ass kicked by him, so I went at it right and ended up beating him. Got into the strap right away. Ended up beating him in the strap. Then I went to another tournament up at the Javits Center. Wrestled all day. Jason was there reffing.
Well, I mean, I can stay on here, I guess. What's up, chat? Welcome to the Josh YouTube. I am now. Oh, nope. I guess he's back.
Probably hop off because my phone's about to die, and we don't want to trap Josh again.
It's cold up here.
It is cold up here. We had lots of fun. You know, hopefully you join us again sometime.
Oh. Be kind.
Be kind.
Don't let the pain drive you away. You know.
How about you, Josh? Anything you want to add?
No, sir. He said it. Same as everything. Hit that like, subscribe, bell notification. Keep it rocking, baby.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.